Rumors have spread for years that the man who redefined Muay Thai action on screen is sitting in a prison cell, serving out a life sentence far from the cameras that made him famous. The truth is stranger than the rumor, because what actually happened to Tony Jaa didn't happen behind bars. It happened behind closed doors, in contracts and courtrooms, and it nearly ended his career for good. Back in 2003, right as Ong-Bak turned him into an overnight sensation, Jaa signed a 10-year deal with Sahamankal Film International, the studio that discovered him. Buried in the fine print was a catch that would define the next decade of his life. He couldn't take on outside work without the company's approval, and he was reportedly being paid around $600 a month while his films made millions worldwide. Hollywood, Hong Kong, and Chinese directors all came calling. Every single time the studio said no. When the contract was set to expire in 2013, Jaa thought he was finally free. Instead, Sahamankal claimed they'd already renewed it for another decade, sending the renewal notice not to Jaa himself, but to an estranged sister living in a completely different part of Thailand, who signed it without his knowledge or consent. Jaa called it what it was: business slavery. He lawyered up and fought back. Then came the role that should have been his Hollywood breakthrough, Furious 7. Sahamankal responded by suing him, along with Universal and United International Pictures, for nearly $50 million, arguing they'd built his stardom and deserved a cut of his new success. In 2015, they even secured a court order blocking Furious 7 from releasing in his own country. Other projects, including Skin Trade and a sequel to SPL, got tangled in the legal mess or shelved entirely. Then, just as suddenly as it started, Sahamankal dropped the lawsuit that July, and both sides quietly settled. But years of momentum were already gone. That wasn't even his lowest point. Years earlier, riding high off Ong-Bak's success, Jaa took on directing its sequel himself, writing, starring, choreographing, and running his own production company all at once. The budget spiraled from 100 million baht past 300, and the pressure became unbearable. In June 2008, he simply vanished from set. No statement, no warning. His phone went dead. For weeks, nobody could find him, and rumors ran wild about kidnapping or a breakdown. A newspaper eventually tracked him down hiding in a safe house, exhausted and financially wiped out. He'd been paying production costs out of his own pocket and could no longer afford his mortgage or his electricity bill. The studio took the film away from him, split it into 2 disjointed sequels, and Jaa lost the passion project that was supposed to define his career. In 2010, drained by all of it, he walked away from acting entirely and became a Buddhist monk. He eventually returned, but the studio contract kept limiting him for years afterward. As for the prison rumors, they trace back to a role he played, a prison guard in a 2015 film, later twisted online into claims about his real life. There's no record of any sentence, any conviction, anything close to it. He's been married since 2012, has 2 daughters, and continues working steadily, recently appearing in The Expendables 4 and taking on an executive producer role for an upcoming Muay Thai trilogy. Tony Jaa isn't gone. He never went to prison. What actually nearly ended his career was something far less cinematic. A contract that treated a global star like property, and years spent fighting to own his own name again. If Tony Jaa's story surprised you, let us know in the comments. And subscribe for more true stories behind the biggest names in action cinema.